He exploited a legal loophole to secure the acquittal of a murderer, yet this seemingly minor act unleashed a nightmare.
Pleasure. Take care.
Though he helped the killer win the case, he refused to acknowledge being cut from the same cloth. This refusal enraged the murderer, who sought revenge days later. Will's wife was brutally murdered in their country home. His son escaped by hiding in a trunk. Will, arriving at the scene, became the sole witness to the murder. Despite Will's testimony leading to the killer's arrest, convicting him proved extremely difficult. After all, Will's word was the only evidence. At the time of his wife's murder, his son Jamie was also present at the scene, yet he couldn't recall anything. Medically termed post-traumatic stress amnesia. This condition arises when the brain triggers a self-protective mechanism after witnessing extreme violence. This proved highly detrimental to their case, and the killer and his legal team seized upon it. The victim had been murdered after dark. No one could guarantee the accuracy of Will's recollections. Relying solely on his eyewitness account to convict Firel was utterly impossible. Crucially, as a witness, Will couldn't appear in court as a lawyer, and as a top-tier attorney, he was powerless to intervene.
So he just has to watch. He's not allowed to be there. Besides, it was very dark.
Foyer was utterly brazen. To him, the women he murdered were no different from animals. As his defense attorney, Maggie felt her conscience stirring with unease. Yet Will had suppressed her for so long at the firm. This was her only chance to prove herself. Meanwhile, Will never stopped investigating. He was determined to gather more evidence before the trial began. Little Fatty, disregarding the rules, insisted on keeping him updated on the case's progress. Police found a size 12 shoe print at the crime scene, but Foyle wore size 9 shoes, a clear mismatch. The defense team would seize on this. Worse, someone had provided Foyle with an alibi. His neighbor claimed they'd been having dinner together at the time of the murder. This puzzled Will, who suspected the neighbor was lying for Foyle.
What was this woman's name? Eileen Morris.
Will tracked down the neighbor's address through a contact and followed her for an entire day. He observed her driving to secretly store something in a warehouse. He then went to the law firm's archives to search for more clues about the neighbor, but was nearly caught by a woman working there. Fortunately, he wasn't completely unsuccessful and managed to uncover some leads. Will asked Little Fat to persuade Harris to meet privately to discuss plans for convicting the killer. Harris was the paralegal handling his wife's murder case, but regulations prohibited witnesses from contacting anyone involved in the case, so Harris immediately refused. He wasn't about to risk his career over this. To make matters worse, due to lack of evidence, the court granted attorney Maggie's request to release Foyle on bail. Upon hearing this, Will grew tense. He knew Foyle harbored intense vengeance, evident from his wife's murder. His son, walking home alone from school, was likely in grave danger.